everyone.
Hi.
We're going to wait for some people to join us on this live feed. Give it a couple minutes. We're here at Mahoney's in Brighton. Ellen, you want to show them what we're looking at right now?
Well, isn't that lovely?
So, do we have anyone watching yet, Ellen? Couple? Maybe? It'll tell us. It'll tell us when someone's on there. Alright, well, I guess we can get started. Today we're doing some container gardening. And so, Alexis and I are going to show you how to do some simple arrangements with annuals. That is plants that do not come back every year. They're just for the summer/fall season. And I guess we'll just walk you through how we picked our plants, how we picked our containers, how we're going to pot these, and how we're going to care for these hypothetically after we get them established and potted and all that. So yeah, we've got a fall planter here, which has this nice cruciferous cabbage here. We've got some ornamental peppers in here. And this really pretty Dracaena grass that
It's not a Dracaena.
is not a Dracaena, but it is a grass. It's got these really nice plumes right now, and so it's kind of got the whole fall look going on.
It's a fountain grass.
It's a fountain grass. Looks similar to a Dracaena. You want to tell them what you picked out, Alexa?
Yeah, so these are some more summery plants. So this is a celosia. This is a type of euphorbia. This is a verbena. Then a calbricoa and a sedum. Nice little variety there.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just start by, yeah, we also want to talk about containers. So, we both happen to pick out terracotta containers today, which are my favorite.
Mine as well.
They deal with water pretty much better than any other container. They're going to draw it out from every surface of the soil, as well as drainage holes, right? So the water's going to go straight down rather than maybe some ceramic planters that won't have a drainage hole and water collects a bit more frequently in those. You could certainly use ceramic containers for doing stuff like these. I would still recommend you look for one with a drainage hole, or composite pots would work great as well. Yeah, those will last outside all year round totally fine, but what we're dealing with today will die off into either late summer or fall, so something to keep in mind. We're there as we go with these. Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll go at the same time, right? So we'll just start potting these up. So one thing to keep in mind is if you've got fairly large containers, like we're kind of dealing with today, you might want to consider putting something on the bottom inside to kind of prevent you from having to fill the entire thing with soil, right? So something like an upside down plastic nursery pot works fine. You can get them out of each other.
I have them in here if you want to take a look at what it would be like.
Still gonna struggle over here.
Yeah, trying to distract from your struggle.
So yeah, just something to fill the space. You can use anything from, you know, packing peanuts to pieces of broken pottery, stones, anything that's just going to get surface area to kind of. This is if you either don't have enough soil to use, you don't want to fill an entire giant container. For today's sake, it's more that we don't want to spend the time filling these 100% with soil, and it's totally fine with this anyway. So, yeah. I would say I'm going to start by putting these in here and then a good layer of soil to cover them. Today we're just using a Mahoney's professional potting mix. You could use an outdoor organic mix that we also have here. I'm going to have to lean it up. Here's a big bag.
Can we see the bag?
Yeah. We've ripped it open rather crudely, but that's what it looks like. This is the gold top one. We also have a green top one that's
Organic.
more specific for outdoor use, yeah. Yeah. I'm actually going to use one of my nursery pots to scoop this soil because I'd imagine this might take a while. So I'm just going to fill to where I think about the bottom of a pot of whatever the first plant I'm using is going to land. You want to be considering height in these. Oh, and maybe something we forgot to mention is a method that a lot of people use when doing kind of container arrangements like this is you want to have a filler, spiller, and a thriller. I said them in the wrong order. I think it's thriller, filler, spiller. So in this case, the thriller is going to be this grass. Thriller is usually the centerpiece of whatever arrangement you're doing. It's usually the highest thing in the pot. Then you've got something like a filler. So here it's this cabbage that we've got. Looks kind of like that, kale. Spiller, I don't really have a spiller here. I'm gonna cheat and say that these might count as spillers, but they're more like small fillers, but something to keep in mind. So there's a height difference between all four of the plants that I'm using.
I have some more traditional spillers in this one. So this is gonna be my thriller. And then I guess the filler is something, they don't have to be that strongly defined. These are probably going to be more of the fillers, and then both of these are going to end up trailing, so they'll be the spillers.
And the idea is that as these kind of grow out, each plant is going to do its own thing more and more. So the thriller will get taller, spillers are going to cascade more down the pot. And then the fillers should fill everything else in if everything goes to plan. So I think I'm going to start with putting the grass in here. And I'm going to see where it sits in the pot. So that's about the height that I want. So I would say that's about the right height for that guy. And then I'm going to make sure that everything else fits before I add any more soil. So let's see here. This is also going to depend on how root bound the plants you're dealing with are. So that's pretty root bound. It's ready to go. And you're not going to be able to lose much of that soil because of that. Also, for the sake of this video, we're not going to really loosen these up too much. But you're welcome to do so. So as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking maybe I want this guy a bit lower because I want to accentuate the height of this grass here. So let's see if I can do this. Just to get this guy to sit a bit higher up in the pot. But not too high, because you want at least an inch at the top without soil, so that when you water, it's not just going everywhere. And I think my idea was to have this more centered there. These guys are probably going to need more soil below them, so they're falling a bit too low down, I'm going to want to bring them up a bit. And that's just a matter of filling in what space we've got left in here right now.
I'm gonna start filling mine with soil too.
Go for it. You also want to make sure that you're dealing with all of the generally same care requirements when you're picking these plants. So if they prefer part shade, you want to only pick part shade plants. We're dealing with pretty much sun-loving stuff only here, so for us that's not an issue. We picked whatever we felt might work out of our sun annual yard here at Mahoney's. So I'm going to check again if that's about the right level. Let's see. I'm taking the tags out as I go. You might want to save those depending on how much you know or don't know about the plants you're using.
And if you want to remember what you got, maybe you really liked something and you want to get the same thing again next year, but you don't remember the name of the plant, that's not very helpful. So sometimes it's a good idea to hold on to something
Save
like
the
that.
tags, yeah.